Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Taurus is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Cups, come on. That's the best card. This is satiety. This is satisfaction. This is bliss. This is fulfillment. We are becoming fully filled up with love and joy. And I feel like this is you coming to the end of a long road. Okay? One where you finally feel like, I did it. I made it. This is enough. In this moment, I'm happy. In this moment, I don't need anything else. Okay? This is a card of contentment. This is kind of like, this is that like serotonin kind of vibe, you know, where it's like, I'm not striving for anything. I'm not anxious. I'm not wishing I had something else. Like right now, as I look around, life is perfect. Life is good. You know, this is like when I'm outside in nature, in the sunshine with my family. That's how I feel. I don't care about the bills. I don't care about, you know, the views going down. Like, I don't care about anything else that's happening anywhere else. But in that moment, everything is perfect. Now, of course, we come down from that, you know, and we realize, well, I got to pay bills. There's problems in the world that we have to try to solve, and we have to work on things. And, you know, we can't stay in that moment of sunshine forever. But when we got it, let's get it. You know, let's enjoy it. Let's be there in the moment. I actually just got, I just came in from being outside with my daughter. I took a break in between readings, and I went, and we went out on the front porch, and it's sunny out there, you know. And she has a little fairy garden that she's cultivating, right? So we just went out there in the sunshine, and we were looking at that. And in that moment, there was no other thoughts, no other cares or worries. It's just me, my wife, and our daughter, you know. We hang on to these moments when we can. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. I feel like you're somebody that does appreciate those moments. You've got a Hermit energy. You've got the Lust or Strength card. You have a Princess of Swords, a Two of Cups, and the Empress in the future position. Over here, you've got the Tower. You've got a Knight of Swords, a Seven of Wands, and an Ace of Wands. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with our little octopus friend, the Eight of Tentacles, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana energies. We see fire, we see water, we see air. We don't have any earth cards, right? And I think the earth cards are probably a pretty good thing that they're not here in abundance, right? Because I don't feel like this is necessarily us striving for anything, right? The absence of the earth cards kind of say it doesn't matter what we're doing. What matters is that in this moment, nothing else matters, right? In this moment, we're happy, we're content, and we're kind of we're just in our own little bubble of bliss, you know. And I think that this is perfect. I think we want more moments like this, where whatever we're doing doesn't matter where we are, who we are, what we're doing, or what the earth energy is like around us. But if we can find those moments where we can just like stop and feel all that love and feel the contentment and feel the satisfaction of life, whether at work, at home, at school, in our personal private lives, you know, in our spiritual practice, in our families, in our pets, our plants, our people. Yeah. And so the Hermit, I think, is really telling you that sometimes we need to take a time out from all of the chaos of life. Tower. Take a time out from all the chaos of life in order to appreciate the things we love. Yeah. And acknowledge the things we love and connect with those things that we love. Because that love, then, that power that we feel, that I don't know, that love, right? That energy we get, that high vibrational connection is going to allow us to go into the tower moments of life and into the chaos of life, right? And bring very positive energy into it. Okay? And so I think this is very, very important for you. Especially now, I feel like you're very, I feel like your life is a busy life. I feel like you got a lot going on, a lot to worry about, you know? Sometimes the Hermit just needs to take a little time out and, you know, and enjoy what we love. Enjoy those pets, plants, and people, okay? So, the Tower, I think, is kind of the big looming energy right now because it seems like this is kind of like, why are you here, Tower? You know, why are you here? As your general energy, I know I'm skipping around a little bit, but that's okay. I can do that because it's my program. The Tower is a moment of full awareness, okay? It is a moment of pure consciousness. It's a moment where all of our walls come down, all of our facade comes down, all of our filters and buffers, all the bricks, right, come tumbling down, and we're left with pure consciousness, pure spirit, pure will, right? And to me, this is kind of a good card right now because this is saying that in these moments where we're feeling the Ten of Cups, we want that to be a peak experience in life. The Tower moment is always like an exclamation point. It's always something that you will remember for the rest of your life. You will never forget it, right? And it usually is a card that shakes us to our foundation because something unexpected is happening and we're sort of, you know, we're caught up in the chaos and the turmoil of it, okay? But as your general energy, we feel like a tower, a moment is happening. I feel like this is a moment where we are awakening, where we're fully opening our eyes, right? You see that open third eye at the top there, where our third eye is being like pried open, if you will. Shout out to Maynard. I feel like we're seeing things clearly almost for the first time, and it feels like a tower moment. It's a very salient moment in our lives. And this doesn't have to be bad, you know. This, I think, is that moment where, like for me, for example, going outside with my family, looking at the fairy garden in the sunshine. It's morning time here in the sunshine. And every other care, every other worry, concern, every trouble, everything, every facade, every filter, everything just sort of broke away. And it was just a moment of, I mean, like the smile on my face, you couldn't like, you know, you couldn't scrub it off of me. And I think that's kind of like a tower moment. That's like an awakening. In that moment, you're fully present and you're fully aware. And, you know, it's the tower moments. It's the exclamation points, the peak experiences of life. It's like life's going on like this, like this, like this. And then, nope, tower moment. And those are those peak experiences. And sometimes we feel that they're destructive, you know. But I feel that it is destructive in the sense that we know we have to come down from that peak experience and go back. Like I knew, like, okay, well, I had to go back inside. I had to get dressed. I have to go to work. I've got other stuff I got to do today. I got to pay bills. I got to make some appointments. You know, it's like life goes on, you know, even after these experiences. So it's just like we're almost wondering, why can't I just retire here into the Ten of Cups forever, permanently, you know? But these peak experiences are, they're moments where we are fully conscious, okay? And I think that it's really It's an awakening. It's a spiritual awakening, okay? You might even be experiencing a kind of kundalini activity right now in your life, okay? Because I feel like a lot is changing inside of you. Yeah, as your general energy, this is a very, very good card. It may feel a little disruptive because as we get more and more familiar with the Ten of Cups state, we might be less and less inclined to pursue some of the other things in life that we've been pursuing. The other things don't really seem to mean as much. And that can be a problem, right? I'm outside with my family, experiencing one of these internal, kind of fully conscious tower moment awakenings, right? And then to think, I got to go schedule a dentist appointment, I got to go get my teeth cleaned. It kind of feels like that stuff doesn't matter. I don't want to do that stuff, but I got to, you know? We can't not do it. So I think that's kind of, that's the challenge that we feel, especially with any kind of a spiritual awakening. Especially a kundalini type awakening. We feel the significance of that tremendously. We feel like we have woken up. And the mundane chores of life, we don't want to do them anymore. Okay? So the difficulty is taking this type of energy and bringing it into our daily routine lives where we're doing dentist appointments, we're paying bills, you know, and we're taking kids to school and we're doing homework and we're, you know, we're doing the data entry stuff on the computer and working in the cubicle or digging the ditch. And, you know, it's important that we can take this fully awake energy and still do our daily lives, right? With this kind of full attention and full awakening, because other times it's like, well, I'm just going to go back to sleep until I'm done with work and then I'll wake up again, you know? And so we start to crave these sort of serotonin states. And we wish that we could just retire into them, but life is a dynamic system, okay? And that's what we have with the Empress energy. The Lust or Strength card, underneath the surface, it's a courage. It's also an appetite. It's a hunger. And so we feel like we're hungry for these Ten of Cups states. We want them. You know, I want, and it's sort of, and so it's kind of like, it's almost counterintuitive. It's almost like paradoxical, right? Because the Ten of Cups state is a state without striving. But this is a card of saying like, I want something, you know. I got the courage to go get it. And so we're sort of craving these serotonin states, but I feel like that's the wrong way to go about it, right? It's something that just, we have to sort of allow it to happen. We can't go chasing them because that's the paradox of it. I feel like this card is also the courage that we need to kind of boldly live our daily lives, you know. When I first started out on the spiritual path, a long, long time ago, many, many moon ago, I was so enthusiastic. This is like an enthusiasm. This is like a power inside of us, you know, this is a zeal. I was so zealous on my spiritual path that I just wanted to stay home all day and like meditate and pray and write poetry and do rituals and be out in nature and just, I was doing a lot of breathing exercises and yoga and I just wanted to do that all day, every day. But it's like, I had to go to work. I had to pay bills. I had to go to school, you know. So it's kind of it's the strength that it takes for us to live our normal ass lives, right? When we've had these kind of spiritual experiences. And that is really a sign of strength. And it's important that we try to bring those spiritual experiences into our normal lives, into our daily lives, okay? Because this is a real fire in your heart. This is really a strength inside of you that I think is now, these types of peak experiences that we're talking about, they charge you up. They supercharge you in every other area of your life. You're going to go to work and you're going to just be better and happier and more fulfilled there, right? You're going to be in traffic and it's not going to bother you as much, you know, because we're kind of carrying that bliss with us throughout the day, the residual effects of it, okay? But we do need to have more experiences like this, but it's not something we can force. That's the problem, you know. We're trying to seize the moment here when they come. And when they do come, like today with my daughter, I know I have to work and I got to schedule my appointments and I have bills to pay and chores to do and all this kind of stuff, but I wasn't going to miss that moment. You got to seize the moment, right? Because our lives are unfolding really fast. And we have to, when those moments arrive, when those doors open, when that opportunity is there, you got to take them. Okay? Because we can't necessarily create them. I think that's the idea. It's not something that we manifest. The thing about the tower is that it's usually spontaneous. And if we try to schedule it or force it, it's not going to feel the same. It's when all those forces align together, a tower moment happens, and we got to be present, we got to participate. Okay? And so we really need to seize those moments when they arrive. Now, with the Princess of Swords in the background position, I feel like you're a very curious person. I feel like you're very open to new things, and you like to experiment, you like to learn about new stuff, right? So I feel like even like, I don't know if it's like once a month or once a year or once a week, you're trying to do something or learn something that you've never done before, that you've never experienced or you've never, studied. I feel like this kind of curiosity, it keeps you in the spontaneity, it keeps you open to all that spontaneity. That you're very open to all sorts of new things. You don't really say no to a lot of stuff, And I think that's good for you right now. Because we're open to everything, because we never know when we're going to get one of them big awakening Tower 10 of Cups moments. Like these two together, holy you-know-what. This is a very powerful combination of cards. This is an explosion of bliss in that moment, right? We never know when that's going to come. So if we stay open to everything, if we stay open to all of life, we're not saying yes, like literally to everything, right? But we're being open to all possibilities and to all opportunities. And then when these opportunities arise, we go full hermit mode. We shut off the outside world, We blow up the outside world, right? A lot of musical references today. Rest in power, Chris Cornell. We block out everything else, and we live in that moment. And that's what the hermit's trying to do. Trying to shroud this moment in a cloak of invisibility so it's not touched by the outside stuff, the chaos of the outside world, And that's what we're doing, because we're focusing on love. We're bringing more moments of love. You got a moment to love? Oh, okay. Setting up a perimeter around this love, and I'm going to be here as long as I possibly can, within reason. You still got to get to work on time and that sort of thing. But when there's an opportunity to love, you take it. And you protect that moment for as long as you can. And you are fully present and aware and awake. Your third eye is open. Your physical eyes are open. Your heart is open. This is a card of love. 2 of Cups. It's self-love, divine love, platonic love, romantic love. Everything. It's the super glue that is holding life together. Okay? And the more we find moments like this that give us that feeling, that kind of serotonin feeling of the 10 of Cups, the more those experiences find us, and the more we accept them and embrace them and try to hold on to them for a little while, the more love we're going to have to bring in every other aspect of life. You're going to have more love on the highway in traffic. You're going to have more love at work. You're going to have more love at school. You're going to have more love on the internet. And, I feel like it's transformation. I feel like love really does transform us. When we find those moments where we can feel it and we bring that with us into other areas of life, we're spreading love around, And I think we're healing ourselves, we're healing the world, right? More musical references. This is really, really extraordinary. And I feel that with the Empress here, going forward, this is kind of, you're taking this as like a profound responsibility in your life. You realize that you are the caretaker of the universe, right? You are the earthly representative or the earthly ambassador of spirit. And so it's kind of like we're walking around with our head held high and our magical robes on, because it is our holy duty to experience life, to experience the world, and to, I think, heal ourselves, heal the world. And I don't know if I really like that word, really healing necessarily, but spreading the love around, you know. The Empress is the caretaker of nature, let's say, too, right? So you have a house, you're on a little bit of land or something. That's your responsibility to take care of it. You're being charged. You've accepted the responsibility, the duty to take care of that land and everything that's there, right? So I feel like we're taking life seriously, but we're taking it seriously with the love. And this is the card that is going to bleed, sweat, and cry for what it loves. This is the card, this is the energy that's willing to give and give and give in order to nurture something, okay? And it's very Taoist to me because it's kind of like this whole love, this whole Two of Cups thing, whatever love really is, right? That energy, the more you use it, the more you get filled up with it. It's never exhausted. The more you use, right, it's never exhausted. The more you use, the more you gain. It's very Taoist, very Tao Te Ching, which, I'm going to start working on my own sort of translation and commentary to the Tao Te Ching because it's such a profound text. Yeah. But anyway, the Empress energy going forward. I feel like it's not striving so much, right? This isn't an emperor that's out there kind of commanding and going forward and striving and forcing things and pushing forward. This is a card that's sort of yielding. This is a card that's kind of saying, like, something comes to me and I'm going to give it everything I've got. I'm going to nurture it like it's my baby, So again, when these moments happen in life, we put our arms around that moment and we hold on to it and we nurture it and we feed it of ourselves, more, as much as we can in that moment. And it fills us up beyond belief. The more you give to it, the more you get back, right? And this might be even something, might be something healthcare related for you. You might be going into some kind of an emotional health type of thing. Maybe you're doing like Reiki, or maybe you're doing some kind of energy healing, or maybe you're a nurse or a doctor or something like this. Because I feel like you are accepting as your role in life the task, the holy task of spreading love, of helping people, healing people, and being a positive influence in the world. Okay, not necessarily through the medical arts, but it's possible for you. Okay, I think you would be very good at that if you're looking for a career change. Anyway, it's Path of the Serpent. Let's talk more about these cards. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Okay. The Tower. I think you're experiencing one of these awakenings. I think in the chaos of life, we are finding these little oases of bliss, and we're hanging on to them. And in those moments of bliss, in those oases of bliss that we find, the outside world ceases to exist. Okay, it is a pure consciousness, a pure spiritual experience in that moment, where all of our whole persona falls away. All of our blockages fall away. All of our knots of karma dissolve in that moment, okay? Not permanently, but in that moment, all of our sore spots, our weak spots, our knots of karma, our triggers, our buttons all get disconnected, all dissolve and fall away. And what we're left with is pure spirit, is pure will, pure awareness and pure consciousness of the Ace of Wands, okay? So we talked about this, that's the spontaneous sort of arrival of these moments. This could also be that kind of spontaneous spiritual awakening that does happen. And I think it's sort of changing your perspective on life a little bit. Okay, we've got a Knight of Swords here in the environment. What I think it does is this kind of experience for you is as we seize these moments and we hang on to them, we cling to them as long as possible, those moments of love and bliss. What it does is it puts other things in perspective. So then I feel like you're able to make decisions much faster. Things aren't like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm on the fence about stuff. I feel like you're able to make decisions from this higher wisdom and discernment perspective. You're very, very easily able to judge some things in life, you know, especially out in the world as we're doing things and we have decisions to make. It's we find it very easy to say yes and no to things because we are we have a, I don't know, maybe a different idea of what's important to us, you know. And so this is kind of a Libra energy. Yeah, it's a cardinal air energy here. And this is somebody who knows who they are. They know the truth of life in a way. It's almost like you're discovering the secret of the universe. And because you have this sort of inner, this inner wisdom or this love inside of you now, this awakening, because your eye is so open, you can very easily see the path before you and which turn to make. Left or right, yes or no, up or down. Right, 5-degree down bubble. So it creates in us a discernment that we're able to very easily make decisions. We don't vacillate. I don't, well, yes, this, but no, yes, I don't know. You're able to say, this is what I'm doing. You know, and so it gives you this almost a mastery of life, an ability to have kind of an instant value judgment about things. That makes you're not judging anything's intrinsic value, right? But it's relative value. And so the things that aren't important, they're obviously not important to you anymore. You know, and things that do mean something to you, the things that are important to you, they are obvious too. And so your decisions become easy. Your decisions become quick. You know, there's a lucidity in you now. And the thing we don't want, of course, is anything to interrupt that bliss. We have a 6 of Wands with a little stick, a little weak stick in front of it, right? We don't want anything to disturb that harmony and peace that we feel within us. But that little stick is a persistent SOB, right? And that is the demands of the world banging on our door when we're in the temple and we're meditating and we're in that moment of bliss. This is the dog barking. This is the bill. This is the email box going ding, ding, ding. This is, you know, every challenge. This is the baby crying. This is the neighbor slamming the door, you know. These are all the things of life that are going to try to disturb our equilibrium. Because that 6 of Wands is kind of like a harmony of will. It's kind of like in this moment of bliss, and we're hanging on to this moment, we're protecting it, but there's always, you know, there's something that's going to be banging on the door. And like I said, we kind of reject that. It's like when I'm out there in the front yard in the sunshine looking at the fairy garden with my family, I don't want that little thing in the back of my mind that says, hey, you got to get back to work because you got errands, you got an appointment in a couple hours, you got to hurry. And I reject that because I want to extend that moment all day. But eventually you look at the watch and you say, okay, it's, you know, I got to go back to work, you know. I got to we got to get back to doing the thing, you know. But we don't want this. It's kind of a necessary evil, though, because yeah, well, like I was saying with my sort of anecdote about when I was younger, I could just stay home and meditate all day because I just discovered it. It was so blissful. I wanted to do it all day, every day, and do nothing else. But then I wouldn't pay my rent. I had a little apartment in San Jose, California. It was like $700. I think it was $700 a month for a little studio apartment in San Jose, 7 Trees area. And I was meditating every day, every night. I mean, I would barely sleep. I was so excited about the path that I had just started. And if I didn't have some sort of discipline, if I didn't have some sort of that thing in the back of your mind that says, you should probably go to work now, I would have lost my job. I would have lost the apartment. I wouldn't have had food in the refrigerator. So we have to take care of our responsibilities in life, you know. But I feel like when we do, we bring some of that energy with us. And I was happy to ride 3 hours on the bus to get to work in San Jose. Think about it. I was happy to be at work doing the data entry. I was doing inventory control at the time for a robotics company. And it's some of that bliss carried over, you know. Let's look at the mystery card now. We don't need to talk about the the Ace of Wands so much here, because this is really that full concentrated attention, and this card's going to go anywhere and do anything, right? This is an awakening for you. Your fate is going to unfold really, really. This is a major red alert, because this Tower moment, internal awakening is happening, and it's unleashing your pure will, your consciousness. This is literally like pure consciousness, okay? And this can go anywhere and do anything. It's a very empowering card. I want this card to be empowering too. What do we think it's going to be, though? Maybe more cups? Yeah, always need more cups. I feel like it might be some earth energy. It might be like a 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, 9, 10 of Pentacles. I think it's some earth cards. Let's see what we have. And it's a 4 of Wands. So now in this blissful state, coming or going, you are awake. Okay? Coming or going, you're awake. This is the accomplishment of the completion of the tasks. This is kind of a card that says everything eventually has to be completed and come to an end. Okay? This is kind of the human time. The 4 of Wands to me is like our human watch. It's kind of arbitrary, right? We just kind of say, well, yeah, right now it's like almost 9 o'clock. And that's just, I don't know why, but that's it. It's because the sun is a certain, position in the sky, so we say, it's 9 o'clock. Everything is on some sort of a routine or a schedule in life, And of course, we don't, when we're all in our bliss, we want the spontaneity. We don't want the routine, because it's almost counterintuitive. It feels like it is destroying. It's making this practice of ours, this alive, awake, pure consciousness of ours, too human, too rigid, too restricted, too structured, too routine. It takes away the life from it, But we know that everything has to eventually come to an end. I'm out there in that bliss with my family, and I know that I got to go back to work in a minute, But I feel like the 4 of Wands is also, now since we're bringing our awakened pure consciousness into it, I feel like we're creating more of a ritual of life. Like everything now becomes a holy task, a holy moment, a holy experience, That we're choosing to be present in every moment. Even when we're 3 hours riding the bus, we're fully aware, fully awake. It's a ritual. It's a holy thing. It's a magical moment. Tying my shoes, it's a magical moment. Creating a ritual, that's what I like about the 4 of Wands rather than the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles is just mechanical, routine, monotonous, boring. There's no feeling there. I'm just like a robot. The 4 of Wands, though, is that I'm going through those same routines still, but I'm fully present, fully awake, and it turns it into a ritual. Yeah. So I feel like this is a really nice confirmation. Let's do an extended reading. We're going to do some oracle cards and an I Ching hexagram. There's a link in the corner, and there's a link in the video description. New readings for Taurus, Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. If you want to watch these readings at the website, go to doveandserpenttarot.com or find me on Patreon. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.